I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York, I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast. So who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown? The Dallas Famous Podcast is supported by the Mullen & Mullen Music Project. The music project was created by Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm, championing the independent music scene in North Texas.
And we are back with Dallas Famous Xtras. We're doing something that's become a yearly tradition. Dezi 5 coming on here to talk about the Dallas Entertainment Awards, as well as catching us up on all the cool stuff that's going on in his life. There's some cool stuff that's gone on in your life, by the way.
What?
You've won awards.
Oh, you're right.
You're like, what?
I'm always like, there's one, throw it, put it on the wall, and it's the next one. What's, the next, on to the next. But
right.
You're right, I did.
Yeah.
I won, and which is a wonderful thing. I just won Best of Black Dallas Local Musician Artist.
That's great.
I think that's a great thing because I never really believed that I had a huge black following. Not to say that it's on purpose or anything, but my people have very traditional taste, and I like to step outside of the tradition. So sometimes I get surprised when I'm being recognized by my own people, which is awesome. I love it. But at least they're starting to see outside of the box. So when they see me, at least it lets me know that we're progressing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And
thank you.
And also, I just feel like your release this year and the stuff you've released this year specifically has kind of, put you even more so in the spotlight in the local media, local social, as it were, stuff.
It has. It's still tough. Being a local, or shall I say a Dallas-based artist, has its peaks and then it has its little valleys. Mm-hmm. And when I say the valleys is because, true enough, I'm working very hard to keep the community together, but on top of that, still be a part of the community. It gets a little, how can I honestly say that? They intertwine, but a lot of my friends have been telling me to let that just happen because I'm always trying to separate the two, my artist side and then my activist or my community organization side, shall I say. And they kind of get a little, so when things happen, just like how you say you've got some, I'm like, I have so much going, I don't know which,
Right. I get it. And I wonder too, if maybe, it's sort of organically, I don't know how to say this, like organically helping you by doing community stuff. People are finally also going, well, what's he doing? And then really paying attention to it more.
I will say that it does help. That's why I encourage all of our Dallas-based artists to do the same, to get involved with community things and get involved with art galleries and stuff like that, because when you're doing that, it gives people a reason to question what you actually do. Mm-hmm. I do love to do things like the Dallas Entertainment Awards, which is what we're going to talk about today. And I love to create my own music, and I love to produce shows. But at the end of the day, I still want them to know what I really want. My number one goal has always been to perform on the biggest stages in the world and travel, and not even so much the biggest stages in the world, but just, travel and be a traveling musician. That's really my main focus before any of this, is that. And I have to remind myself, because sometimes I can get drowned by other things, and I'm like, ooh, we have to get back to the root of everything.
Well, from the outside, it feels like you found a good balance this year. I think every release, every song, every album, it's a new animal.
Yeah.
But I feel like you did it right this year.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We worked hard. I realized that visuals are important as much as I really can't stand, and I will say this, I can't stand social media. I asked ChatGPT about 3 months ago, can I have a successful career without?
Yeah.
Like, can we come up with a plan or a strategy to help me come up with a successful traveling performance career without having to post on Instagram every day at noon and at 5 p.m. and
Yeah.
there are ways. It's just a lot harder, but I don't know, but that's
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a necessary evil. I don't think you're insulting a lot of people by saying you don't like social media. I'm not a big fan. But all right, well, let's talk about the Entertainment Awards. It's year 3. It seems like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. This year it's going to be at the actual Bomb Factory.
That's right.
Which is amazing. It's a cool spot, but it just kind of speaks to how this is being respected and treated like something important, which I think it should be.
I do too, and I'm grateful that it's finally. Well, now, there's still a lot of obstacles that we have to climb here in the city. A lot of people are still wondering what's going on, or there are a lot of people. I've even heard that someone says, "Who does he think he is to just start his own such and such?" I've heard that there were certain entities, which is I found this out very recently that. We were wondering why we weren't getting a lot of, we're announcing like we're bringing a community together. We're doing the Dallas plan, bringing people of different races and all types of everything in one room to celebrate one thing, and is our city. But I think that there's a lot of people, just like when a room full of straight people see a gay person come in, they don't know how to receive the change. And there's a change that's happening, and I think it's a little hard to receive from a lot of our people that have been around for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, gatekeepers, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah. It's a shame, but it's also,
it's the name of the game.
Yeah. No, it's like you do something and people are like, well, why is he doing it? I should have been doing that. Somebody else should have been doing that. It's like, well, you didn't.
Somebody had to.
Yeah.
And I just know for a fact, and we've talked about this, but we can talk because we talk about it every year. I know for a fact that after the pandemic, I had came home from New York and our music scene was like so separate. It wasn't the way that it was when I left. In late 2016, early 2017 is when I left Dallas, and I came home about 2021. And I had just realized that, and I'm like, no one knew what each other's shows were. We didn't have people posting what shows was going on every day, and it just seemed like there was just something missing. I did not think of doing an awards then, but I just, even as I was, performing, and I was seeing a lot of the newer groups, King Clam and Ox and the Waymaker, all these people were being with the Wayside Modes. All these guys were just coming up, and they didn't really have a mecca. And I was just like, well, we need to do that. We need to bring it back and celebrate these people before. Because sometimes as a musician, you can be playing in the garages and playing at, bars, and it seems just complacent. But if you have something to look forward to every year, I think it gives you a little bit more drive to create. And when you create, it gets more outside of Dallas.
Yeah.
Views.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'll admit, like before Dallas Entertainment Awards, I wasn't a big fan in general of awards shows. And, I'm not somebody that's watching the Oscars or the Grammys every year. But then, it kind of gives you something extra to work towards. It's not like people are writing a song so they can get a nomination.
Right.
It's not absolutely.
Please don't do that.
I don't think anybody is. But it is like, oh, I'm not just, shouting to the void. Like even if you don't win, even if you don't get nominated, you're getting talked about. It's an event. It's like it's cool, and
it's a time that you can promote yourself. We already we do shows every month and we release music, and this is a time where you can show even if you, like you say, if you don't get nominated, it's still that time where you can show what all you've done throughout the year. Nominate me because this is what I've done this year. I've worked hard. You've been to my shows. You've seen what I've done. Do me the courtesy of giving me a nomination so that I can be an official nominee. And so hopefully that I can win. And it would help me as an artist. It'd help my career, further my career,
Yeah. No, I mean, I got to say, I'm super honor to have won 2 for the podcast. And I mean, I do think sometimes just because we have a cool name.
Well, I think, and honestly, it's a lot of new podcasts out there now.
Oh, I mean,
I'm like seeing who are these? I'm like seeing different, like different ones.
Sure.
And I'm like, that's crazy. And that's a good thing. I think they've already been out, but that's what this is for.
Yeah, it becomes aware. And like, I think for me winning it, a bunch of podcasts knew who I was, and then I started to get following by podcasts, and I get hit up all the time for people to be on the show. Most of the time it's people that aren't even from Dallas. I'm like, did you listen to one episode?
It's Dallas famous.
Yeah, it's like the specific, DFW, but yeah. So anyway, it's cool. It's an honor. Yeah, I'm not expecting to win anymore. Like 2 is a lot.
Well, you should always expect to win.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want us to be nominated,
Right.
but I'm just saying like we have had a great run, and I've definitely never started doing this for awards.
I would definitely say we talk about it all the time. You do have one of the most, I listen to all of your.
Oh, thank you.
Whenever there's a new one, unless it's someone I don't really care about, but whenever
Right.
there's a new one that you put out, I really do get excited to listen to it. I'll drink some coffee or have a tote, and I'll listen to it because your voice is really cool. And then, you have a really good podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to really shine a light, and I try to keep it like interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I think we won Best Music Podcast, and I'm like, cool. That's like a fourth of what we're doing. But however you get to it, I think Joshua Ray Walker, before he was on, he was like, I love your podcast. Well, I mean, my friends, I listen to my friends, and that's it. And I'm like, cool. Like,
Because majority of the people that you bring people out of the woods that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I'm like, oh, wow. So it just kind of rejuvenates you and let you know that, just like I'm sure when there's people that when they see this one, they oh, shoot, this is what Dezi's doing, because they probably still don't know.
Yeah.
And we're in the 3rd year. So keep doing it and keep amplifying Dallas. And
absolutely.
if you win or not, you are already a winner because you got the name famous in your name.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, I appreciate it. And it is an honor to be nominated, and it's a bigger honor to win. So let me ask you this, it is getting bigger. Like, how is it getting bigger? How is it expanding? Like, what's like kind of the new additions to this year?
Well, I think what is happening is we're getting more support. The first year that we've ever done it, everybody worked for free. Mm-hmm. Everybody, from the presenters to the ushers to the hosts to the performers, everything was done for free. The only thing that we really made money at was like the meet and greet showcase, which is something that we still keep in tradition. The difference this year is the support and the level of support that we're getting, and is helping us receive a brighter, a larger audience, or a larger reach. So, it's not completely like, there's some people that we were talking to that I can't really say this yet because we're supposed to have a meeting, but I wouldn't even imagine that I'd be working with them this soon with this project. But I believe that is going to happen. But it's just because we're just doing the right thing. It's not like, it's not rocket science. It's no gatekeeping, once again. And we're doing what a lot of people don't do, is just amplifying different artists, new artists. And not only artists, creatives, there's over 100 categories that we offer, but all of them don't make it, because we need at least 5 people to be nominated.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, all of them don't make it. Like, just say, for instance, if I'm just going to use this as an example, I'm just going to pull up best burlesque performer. If we only have 2 burlesque performers, then it just can't go.
Okay.
And that's just because we didn't get 5 people to nominate themselves.
Right.
Or at least nominate yourself.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you at least nominate yourself, there's the 5.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of the categories where there's just no one. I know a lot of, I will say, like sound techs and door persons and bartenders and, those areas, recording engineers, and those are the areas that need more attention.
Okay.
As much as they're very important to our scene. But these guys are so behind the scenes that they don't even know how to put themselves in front of the scenes. So I think it's up to us as the people that are working with them to nominate them. So you know who your favorite bartender is. You know, as a musician, when you go to Trees, you know that Zach is your favorite sound guy. And if you don't know your sound guys' names, then you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong field, because that's something you need to always get to know your sound techs and know their names and know who they are. And so that's another reason why this is also a community builder as well, you know. But those are the things that I know for a fact we kind of lack a lot of attention in, and we don't want those to not be on the roster. But if we're not going to force it, because that's less money we have to spend. Right. You know, I could see myself about a year ago when we first started, I was just plugging names in. I'd find like, oh, we had a problem with magicians one year. And I was just like, I went on Google and found like Dallas magicians, and I just plugged them in. It's not that way anymore.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, I was going to say too, lighting directors specifically seem like I knew a couple that they didn't, I mean, I asked one of them to be on the podcast. No. Like, they don't want to interact like that. So, I mean, as a photographer, I don't know. The
thing is, they don't want to interact like that, but they want the praise, which is, we'll talk about this later on in this interview, which is something that I'm noticing a lot coming from our artists in the scene. Everybody's so modest.
Right.
Oh, I don't want to promote myself. I don't want to ask anybody to nominate me. It just doesn't.
I've had this conversation with a few artists.
It just doesn't feel right, and I'm just like, well, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, what it's saying is we just need to keep growing, and they're gonna want to. We're still in year 3. The first year I nominated, I pretty much made FYC. I made over 500 FYCs. I was constant. I have not worked that hard since then, by the way. But I was making FYCs, and when an artist saw that I was acknowledging them, then they decided to share it, and that's how it kind of got big. But now it's at the point, as we're growing, as the entity is growing, it's up to you to do the due diligence.
Yeah.
You know, the Grammys, you don't release a record and just put it out and expect for it to get a Grammy. You have to join the club. You know, that's the only way you're going to get a Grammy.
Yeah.
So by showing some type of, because there are a lot of people out here that just expect to be just nominated. And there are people that will be nominated that didn't even promote themselves, you know, but I think everybody just expect that. And I heard in the air that a lot of the artists were saying that they shouldn't have to get people to nominate them. We need to nominate them. And I'm like, then if we do that, then it would tend to be the same people every year. And then we will have that thing where we all call gatekeeping again. Yeah. That's the reason why we don't do it that way. We want to see new artists. So if you feel that you don't need to promote yourself, then don't be upset when there's a new act that is getting a lot of the notoriety. And maybe I also feel like this too. There are a lot of people that get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like sometimes too much. And it's okay. Like even as I'm doing the new bills and everything, it's okay that these new faces are here. This is what it's for.
Oh yeah.
You know?
No, I feel the same way about this podcast, where I'll have younger people, and you know, when I first started doing it, I was like, well, their resume isn't big enough to be Dallas famous. And it's like, yeah, well, first of all, everyone's going to be over 40 listening to your show if you do it that way. And second of all, that is the future, and they are doing it. And just because they don't have all the mileage, they still have a lot to talk about and a lot to promote. And like going back to this conversation specifically, it's like we're all self-promoting anyway as artists. Like, what's the big deal making one more graphic?
One more little thing for yourself to.
Yeah.
But this little one thing is almost like a resume, and it kind of reminds everybody it's all in one spot, you know, versus this whole year, you know, you did. I believe that year 5, it won't be that much of an issue. It wasn't that much of an issue this year.
Yeah.
I might have done 4 FYCs, and they were for my friends, and they still haven't posted them.
Right.
But you know, so
what's funny is like I saw that it was happening, and I got better at graphics this year.
Yeah.
And So I put mine up, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm the first."
You were
one.
the first one. You were the first one,
That
Mr.
is
Dallas
so
Famous.
funny. Like
You spearheaded it.
yeah. Well, again, I don't mind leading by example. I don't mind showing people how it's supposed to be done if I have a clue. So that I just thought that was funny.
That's why I love people like, you and Remy Riley, Rose Garden Funeral Party. Rose Garden Funeral Party, probably the most successful, most sought after band in this city. And they still took the time to ask their fans to run because they care about it and they love it. And they also care about that we're friends.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when it goes beyond, and I don't mind saying this, when it goes beyond, especially those peers that I've been performing and singing with all these years, and when I would expect for them to do it because they respect and care about me and they see what I'm building. So sometimes I'm a Cancer and I can get in my feelings. I do get in my feelings, and when I see my close friends who have won and who have been there, but they don't want to do it, it just kind of feels like they're just still not. It's just like,
yeah,
but it's okay. It will get there.
Yeah.
Once I join the academy, because I'm going to join the academy, and this grows, and we start getting FIFA money, and we start getting Coca-Cola money and Pepsi. Oh, everybody's going to be out because it's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it today. It's like in a lot of ways, Dallas reminds me of a minor league city versus a major league, like an LA or Nashville.
Yeah.
And that is an awesome place to be an artist because there's nothing stopping you from going all the way, even if it's not like what you think it would be in another city. You're not getting in line like you are in other cities.
You're not. We're giving you the platforms and the spaces between amplified minds, between Dallas Music Office, Jambaloo and the Mullen Music Project, all the different podcasts that we have with the Dallas Entertainment. We have so much here for an artist to feel thrived and to want to create, because at the end of the day, that's what we really want is more creativity. And the more creativity that we get, the more that an artist can be nurtured and they can end up on the Billboard charts, and people will start to look at our city as not say the music city of the world, but we would get that respect. But we have to get it here first.
Yeah.
And I named the theme of the Entertainment Awards this year, Dallas Dynasty. Not just because of the 80s TV shows. It's not, but we are building a Dallas Dynasty. I was watching the Jerry Jones documentary of the Cowboys, and I just kind of saw, this is what I'm building. And we're building a sports team that hopefully will be adored by this city, just like they adore the Mavericks, they adore the Cowboys, they adore the Stars. They're going to adore anything that has to do with the Dallas Entertainment Awards or a Dallas Entertainment Alliance, because we're creating players and we're going to get that support from. That's what I hope, that we're building a real franchise. That's how I look at it now.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I feel like, maybe you tell me if it's already there, but I feel like you're on the cusp of break, because like it still feels like it's a lot of the entertainment community, but we're like, I think you're really close to it, like spilling into just the populace. Yeah. And once that happens, then then Coca-Cola and everybody else puts money into it, and then you're gonna wish that you were participating early on, because you went, well, it'll be getting in line at that point.
Exactly. And that then get on in line, because if your content is good, then you still have room to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, it's not, I think we're still a ways away from, again, this is a special place partially because you can showcase your talent. If you just have enough drive, you can be heard and seen. And and this year, especially for me, because I did some work with the Dallas Music Office on the Busker program. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of new amazing musicians that I had no idea about. And now I'm like, oh, and now I'm seeing their stuff everywhere,
I'm seeing them all in the pool too. That is crazy you said that, because it's busking audition time again.
Oh, yeah.
And for the Dallas Music Office. And there are some kids that, and I hate to say kids, I'm old, I'm 43. Yeah. But there are some artists that there are some younger artists that I saw there that just stepped on the stage with their guitar and ambitions to sing on the streets, that are being quadruple nominated this year. Yeah. And are just all over playing all over. I'm just like, Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, me too.
The Dallas Music Office. Once you audition and you become you become an official busker, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
For you to really get yourself out there. And if you can't get yourself out there from that, then there's other platforms. But I think that is just amazing.
That is a fast track for sure. And that just started. So that's another thing you can still get in on the ground floor.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud to say that I'm a part of that. I'm a huge part of that. Christina will tell you when she first started the Dallas Music Office, or took on the challenge, shall I say, of the Dallas Music Office, she met with a few of us and took us out to lunch, and she said she remembered me saying, I do tours on Saturdays and there's not enough music going on during the day. And she said, remember me saying that really made her focus on this busking thing. So I will be very proud to say that I have a lot to do with that busking
that's cool.
situation.
Do you know when the auditions are?
They're going to be, I believe, the first week or so of January.
Okay. All right, we'll put information up for that.
Yeah, definitely. And reach out to, they'll
Christina
definitely they'll give you all the information. But yeah, the auditions are coming, and it's almost like a new class. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm glad I got to be some part of it. I went to the final concert and saw everybody back to back, and I was just. It reminded me of like an open mic that everybody graduated from and was now at that next level. You know. So
I agree.
So, and also you briefly mentioned that you do tours.
I do
every Saturday.
I do tours at the Deep Ellum Community Center,
where we're sitting right now.
Where we're sitting at. Every Saturday from 3 to 4.
Okay.
We encourage you to go to our website and reserve on Eventbrite. But if you just show up, we will be here too.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So the awards, this is going to air on Christmas Eve day, and the awards shut down, nominations shut down on the 31st.
11:59.
Yeah. Okay. So
on the
you still
31st.
have, once you hear this, you still have another week, and you can every day you can nominate.
You can nominate. This is part of the tabulation situation. When someone like constantly nominates themselves, but at least back then they were nominating themselves from the same email address. So now there's we have codes, and you can only use your email address once. And I feel like this: if you come up with and they're real legible emails. If you did 50 emails yourself, then thank you. I mean, you just
Right.
gave us more emails because they're real emails.
Yeah.
It's just but that's a lot of that is happening. So whatever you need to do
Yeah.
to get yourself on the official nominees, and if you qualify, there's a lot of people that don't qualify. There's people that tried to get their music in that released it 2 years ago, and they thought they were going to sneak past that. We pay attention to all of that. There's people that have not been active at all this year. Maybe were active a year or two ago. We're watching that. We need to see that you've done at least 1 or 2 shows this year in 2025. You have, if you released your music between a certain brackets, you can't call yourself an R&B artist. I know you should be able to call yourself what you are, but we know what R&B is. We know what rock is. We know what indie music is. Sometimes we get a little, indie music and pop and Americana can kind of get a little mixed up, but we're working that out. We're learning every year about that. So I was going to do an executive decision and just take a lot of those content that were in pop, but it's like these are indie songs, these are like singer-songwriter songs, but next year we're going to have another category for that because, and I focus the biggest categories to me, and I know this is probably, how can I say, is it unbiased? Or is it biased? If because I think the content is the highest achievement.
Right. In what sense? The songs?
For the awards. I think that's like first of all, they're the ones that perform. They're the soundtrack of the year. They also, when we do the presentations, they're the ones that can actually go up and give a speech, which is like 8 or 10 of them. So, we really focus on making sure that people create content because, that's really the meat and potatoes of it all.
Sure.
And so I feel like content and releases is like the highest achievement in the whole awards pool, because you've put your music out there And you've spent money on this music, which is first of all of the achievements are great, but I look at those because like I said, it creates the content, it creates the buzz, and that's what it is. So I really value the content and releases, which is why I take that under our wing, and we do not allow we allow the community to nominate the songs, but we take the songs and then we do all of our dissecting and getting rid of the ones that don't meet the requirements. And that's why I take that to heart. Or else if we just went by the community, we would have a lot of songs that probably would not represent our city too well. And I'm not saying that that is bad. It's just that a lot of us still have a lot of work to do to get a proper recording.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a very teacherly way of saying it.
Yeah.
The mentory way. Mentory, is that a word?
We're going to make it work.
Okay, and so then the nominations close the 31st.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 weeks of voting, is that right?
Well, yeah, so on the 31st, the nominations close, and we are tallying, and then on the 7th of January, we will be announcing the official nominees, which are the top 5. And I will let you all know that I did add for Song of the Year and Album of the Year and EP of the Year. We were going to do the top 5, but we're doing top 8 albums of the year, top 8 songs of the year, and top 6 EPs.
Okay.
Because I don't want to limit our songs of the year to just 5 songs.
Yeah. It's like the Oscars for Best Picture.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I at first I was like, we're going to do that, but no, it's just, I'm just like, oh my gosh, but this person needs, but this song is great, so it's like, I said, okay, now I can only go 8.
Yeah.
And I think 8 is a good number for Song of the Year, 8 for Album of the Year, and 6 for EP, just to give another person an extra time, but also to give people more content to listen to,
right,
and to choose from.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I mean, and you're right. Like those are some of the most prestigious categories, I would say. And
Song of the Year. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get through the rest of this, and then I have another question. But
take your time, honey. We're Sunday,
right? So then you announce on the 7th, and then there's 2 weeks of voting.
There's 3 weeks. So from the 7th to the 28th.
Okay.
So there's 3 weeks of all those top nominees, those official nominees, to really, really, hey, now because you have people to see. This is really when the meat and potatoes come, because you let you see who you're nominating for, and people are going to your Instagram and saying if this is now if they see their friend, they're going to just click their friend, which is what you're supposed to do as a friend. And then also the best part about that is official nominee period is a time where everyone is on the same playing grounds. So that's why we like to have that final meet and greet showcase. We have a lot of new artists and a lot of returning artists that come together and perform. So I make sure that bill is fresh with new faces and maybe a couple of older faces, but it's mostly new faces.
When is that happening?
And that's going to be on February 1st at the Kessler.
Oh, nice.
So we've normally had it at the Double Wide for the past 2 years, but this year we've elevated to the Kessler.
That is one of my favorite
That is a ticketed event.
Okay.
And we want it to be ticketed because y'all have to remember that the awards is almost completely free. And that's why I'm glad that we're talking about this, because there are some changes this year.
Okay.
With the showcase, everyone that is nominated, they get into the showcase for $5. General admission is $10. If you want to be a part of VIP, where you can go up where the nominees are going to be meeting and greeting, and you can go up there. If you want to do that, because there are a lot of people that like to hobnob with them, it's $25. So there's 3 tiers that's going to happen at the Kessler. I'm encouraging you all to come to the Kessler, because that is our final fundraiser to pay for the awards, because we still have to pay for things like step and repeats and the trophies and certificates, and to make sure that we have everything that we need to make sure that the awards is seamless and we have all the tools that we need to celebrate us. The worst thing to do is when you don't have the proper tools, you don't have trophies, or you don't have, and it just kind of looks janky. Yeah. And so we want it to look good, and that's why we need community help. We do. We need people to show up to I would love everybody come to the awards, but really come to this showcase, because that really helps us pay for the for the actual award ceremony. And it's, again, you get to meet and greet all of the official nominees before you find out who won. You could be sitting next to someone that's going to be a winner. Or it's a beautiful event.
Sure.
Last year I know it was over 500 people at Double Wide.
Wow.
It was the first year was crazy, and the second year was crazy. So that's why we know we're going to do it at the Kessler, because we should get that same amount. I've already chosen the bill.
Okay.
But the people that are going to perform.
When are we announcing that?
I'm planning on announcing that the day that we do the official announcement.
Okay.
We will say, people are aware that the showcase is on the 1st, but we'll announce the actual lineup on the day of the announcements.
Okay. And then the awards themselves are on the 4th, is that right?
Yes, and the awards will be that Wednesday on the 4th.
Okay.
And now this year with the awards, general admission is free, but the Bum Factory is so huge, and they have those chairs on that balcony. We're gonna charge $15 for those.
Okay.
I believe after the past 2 years, because a lot of people are like, we just want to sit down.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And even when you go there and you realize you got in for free, and you might want to go to the front and be like, you know what, I'll pay $15 to sit up there.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do that. And then we're also going to have some ground seats for the nominees. And so we'll charge. Now those are for nominees and special people that, like Friends of DEA, they've paid $250 given to us, or $300 or $500. We're going to give specific seats for them. And then if there's some left, then we'll charge for those too. But yeah, that's the difference. We are charging for seats, but we're not charging for you to be there.
Okay. So if you want to go, you can just show up. You don't have to RSVP.
You can just show up.
Okay.
We tried this ticket situation last year, which was a mess. Why do ticket it when it's free?
Yeah.
Now that we're going to have seats, but they can just get those tickets online at the online with the Bum Factory, or just like I said, get it at the door. You'll be able to do that. So that this year we are. At first we were like, when we went to take a look at the Bum Factory, because last year was completely free. There were no charge for anything. It was great. It was a lot of people, but a lot of people did complain about not having anywhere to sit. It was very crammed.
Yeah.
So as we go to the Bum Factory, we see all these extra seats, and we're like, we need money.
Yeah.
And if we sell these seats for $10 or $15 a pop, we could make at least $3,000 to go towards
the expenses
and go to, because we want to, the artists really don't get paid that much yet that are performing. The house band gets a pretty decent, but the artists that are performing, we just kind of give them a flat, here you go. And also it's an opportunity.
Sure.
And they haven't been complaining about it, but we do want to be able to pay artists what they're fully worth, even if it's just singing one song, that's really what it is. And we just want to embellish it more. And I will say, we want to have money throughout the year. We don't want to just raise money for this, and then after this continues, after this is over, then we have a bank account that's just steady, like sitting there with nothing. So we want to have that so that we can drive more revenue and keep the oil well throughout the year, instead of just 6 months out of a year. Mm-hmm. Then we get money and then we forget about it. We realize this is something that we have to do. Like last year and the year before, when the awards ended, I'm like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear anything for a month or two, but we can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like almost like the week after, we got to start ready for next week.
Yeah.
Get more sponsors, so I've created a monster.
Yeah, you have. Absolutely. But a good monster.
Yeah, it's a good monster though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good monster.
I wanted to ask you, is there any stories of people who have won an award and then that somehow propelled them to the next level that you're aware of?
I don't know, because there are some people that have won awards that just won them, and then there's some people that have won awards and that have catapulted. We're not going to say that the award was the reason.
Sure.
But we're definitely seeing a lot of people that were rewarded, even nominees last year, that have definitely stepped their game up and that have definitely upgraded their brands. You see them every day, the Rose Garden funeral parties, the Cure for Paranoias, the Grays, the Dana Harpers. But then you start to see the Luke Herberts, the Pierce Washingtons, the Astro Girls, the Pet Taxi. And I feel like they were a part of that second class. I'm almost looking at it like school. They were part of that second annual period. So but I'm watching those kids like, like kick it. They're kicking
Yeah.
butt. They're doing shows there. And not only that they're doing shows, they're doing community shows.
Yep.
They're doing shows that's bringing everybody together, which is what it's all about. And it's
Yeah.
just, so I will say, yes, I have seen a lot of music acts expand, and, you know, maybe not in where we think, you know, we're not seeing them on billboards or at the Grammys, but I definitely see them elevating in a way that I was trying to do in the community, you know. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Okay. I mean, what else is there? Did I miss anything?
No, we should go down the timeline one more time.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
You know, the nominations close on the 31st, so it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. But before New Year's Eve hits, go ahead and get those votes in. We're announcing the nominees, official nominees, on the 7th. And then also, they close on the 28th of January, but we will have the showcase at the Kessler February 1st, the meet and greet showcase. I want to tell you the lineup, but it's 5 days before I can't do it. You're just going to have to wait.
Okay.
But it's a great lineup. I know everybody's going to be excited about. Even the awards, the people that I'm choosing for the awards, I'm really being properly selective. I'm watching, you know, the kids that are doing shows, but that are bringing people. But then there are some people that are just good, that need to be seen, that didn't even, you know, they've been doing shows all year. I've gone to the shows and see that these kids are great. And it's like, this is your opportunity to be. So and a lot of them are involved. We don't choose anybody to perform any of these. One more thing before I move forward. Mm-hmm. The actual award ceremony, February 4th at the Bum Factory.
Right.
But let's go back to what I was saying about performing. No one will ever perform in the awards or the showcase if they're not active. Mm-hmm. If they've not promoted themselves, if I don't see them in the nominations pool, I'm not just going to pull someone and say, hey, you're going to perform. It has to be someone that's driven by what we're doing. And that means that they're actually current. So no one will ever perform if they're not. Now, they don't have to have the most nominees. There's some people that are performing probably got 2. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, they're good.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But I really like to go off of content, the music. You got good music, and then you got a performance to match it. I can go on your Instagram, and I'm seeing you perform at these places. I'm like, oh, I'm going to book these guys. Mm-hmm. They're going to get, you know, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, if I was still a musician, I'd be like, well, I want to perform in one of those too. Like, absolutely.
You know, and the crazy part is a lot of people that aren't like really promoting, they're pushing themselves, you know, and I let me tell you something. I took the time out to go to every winner from the past 2 years, reminding them it's that time of the year again. Da, 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 da. And a lot of them will reply and say, well, you know, I didn't really do anything this year, da, da, but I'll perform. Of course you will perform.
Right. I mean, hell, I'll come out of retirement.
Yeah, you know, sure, I'll perform. I didn't really do much this year, but I'll perform. Or, oh, I don't think that I should really be promoting myself, but if you want me to perform, I will. Why would I want you to perform if you're not showing me that you want to be a part of this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's a couple of people that I let slide through that because you do have a lot of shy people out there.
Right.
And there are a few of our artists out there that do really well, but they're just like, I threw them out there. I did, you know, but they were nominated, you know, but it's just like they weren't pushing themselves enough because they just don't do that.
Sure.
I know, you know, I'm like, well, I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I mean, you know, there's some acts that are just, they need to be heard. And if they're not going to do it, then somebody's going to shove them up there.
And then we have to do that. That's the whole point of this, is to amplify our music scene, amplify every artist to have an opportunity to be seen. And no one can do this if they're not tuned in. That's why if anybody was to ever take this after me, whoever was to take over, they have to be active in the community. It cannot be anyone that just comes from California and they have corporate skills. No, it can't be that. It has to be someone rooted.
Oh, yeah.
That really goes to shows, you know, and really sees what's going on. That's why I'm probably going to hold on to it for another 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure this is going to continue and continue. But I'll probably be like,
yeah,
this is probably going to be my last year hosting. I'm going to probably hire a host after that.
Okay.
so that I can really run the production. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
Make sure the timing is good, making sure that the show is good. That's the that's the reward to me.
Huh.
And it also builds my production resume because
Yeah.
I do have a production and an entertainment company. So this is all ran by Dezi 5 Entertainment. So
Okay. Gotcha. I mean, that's cool. Also, I envision a future where if you step down, there's got to be like a selection process. It's like, it's not just going to be, I want to do it. Like,
oh yeah, I can't even imagine how that's going to be, but yeah.
Well, that's in the future, and very close in the future is the 3rd annual Dallas Entertainment Awards. Thank you so much, Dezi, for stopping by and
No problem.
giving us the skinny, as it were. And we'll see you at all these events you're talking about. Oh, and then I guess if you somehow don't know, DallasEntertainmentAwards.com. That's where you can vote, and for the nominations. And once the winners or nominees are announced, you can vote for them there.
At the same place.
Okay.
Yes. And we can, we can talk about my music at another podcast because I do have some exciting things on that side too.
Okay. All right.
But this is more important because it's not really more important, but I do want to make sure that we promote the Dallas Entertainment Awards.
Yeah.
But on the other side, let's give it a little wall real quick. Dezi 5 is releasing some new music in 2026.
Okay.
I have some big shows coming up, some chances that I'm taking that I learned from the old 97. I'm going to use some of their show concepts. I'm excited for Dezi 5 in the year of 2026 as well. Once the Dallas Entertainment Awards ends, it's fresh on me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we haven't had you on the video version, and even though you're the most appearances by a person on the show, we'll find some room to put you on video and talk about your music.
well, when you do multi things, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
You got me on the music side, you got me on this side. So when anybody else creates those different sides, then they can be more on here a lot too.
yeah. Now there's people that are angling for second and third appearances, but but we'll do it. Anyway, thanks again for taking some time out of Sunday/Christmas Eve, and we'll see you at all the events.
Merry Christmas to you all, and to all a good night.
I'd like to thank my guest, Dezi 5, for joining us and talking everything Dallas Entertainment Awards. You can go to the website and vote. Also, the Dallas Busker auditions are coming up with the Dallas Music Office. We'll have all the links in the show notes. Theme song, Unstoppable by Celine Narala, and the outro is The Place to Be by Electric Ants. Thanks again to the Mullen & Mullen Music Project for their support. Like, subscribe, and share the podcast, and we'll see you next week.